Once there was a yellow-bellied four-flusher who spent his summers in Ireland.
It's a fine old land, Ireland.
But he migrated each autumn and wintered in the south of France.
Wow. Yeah.
One September, the four-flusher made his usual preparations for migration. He packed his bag,
Blasted weight allowances.
checked his umbrella, and consulted his map. The four-flusher was a meticulous, if lazy,
I don't know.
bird, and he liked to migrate in a leisurely way. He divided each day's journey into 3 equal distances. That way he could have a bit of a fly before lunch, a bit before afternoon tea, and a bit before dinner. The four-flusher knew how to divide whole numbers. He also knew how to divide with fractions.
One number divided by 3 will equal 27. What number multiplied by 1 gives 4?
So, his journey completely planned, the four-flusher set out. But over the English Channel, he ran into a bad storm.
Botheration.
And though he reached shelter, he lost his luggage, his umbrella, and worst of all, his map. No matter, he went to the nearest gas station and got another map.
Merci, monsieur.
But the bird saw with horror that on this map all the distances were given in decimals, and the four-flusher didn't know how to divide with decimals.
Oh, horrors! Is my journey to be disrupted?
The four-flusher's first thought was that perhaps he could find the right distances by estimating. For example, the next stop was 15.6 kilometers away. If it were only 15 kilometers away, dividing the trip into 3 parts would make each part 5 kilometers long. If it were 18 kilometers away, each part of the trip would be 6 kilometers long. Since on the map 15.6 is somewhere between 15 and 18, 15.6 divided by 3 must be somewhere between 5 and 6. But where? Now, the four-flusher did know how to add numbers expressed as decimals and how to subtract them and how to multiply them. To multiply decimals, we think of them as whole numbers, compute their product, and then place the decimal point. Let's try the same method in division. 156 divided by 3 is 52. Since by estimating we know the answer to the four-flusher's problem must be between 5 and 6, where should we put the decimal point? 5.2 or 5 2/10. Let's check our answer by multiplying. It checks. Let's try some others. It looks as though when a number expressed as a decimal is divided by a whole number, we can divide as if we were working with whole numbers, and then place the decimal point in the quotient right over the decimal point in the dividend. What would the quotient be here? Let's check our answer by multiplying. So the four-flusher was able to compute how far he should fly before lunch. But when he tried to take off, he discovered he had hurt himself in the storm.
I am afraid, monsieur, that you have pulled a muscle in the wing. But I must get on. I would recommend no more than 9.8 kilometers a day until you are fully recovered.
The four-flusher still had 147 kilometers to go. If he could only go 9.8 kilometers a day, how many days would it take him? Unfortunately, the four-flusher still hadn't figured out a way of dividing with a decimal. Is there any way of changing this problem into one which requires us to divide by a whole number?
Let us see a simple division problem. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now let us see what happens when we multiply both 12 and 3 by the same number, 2. Well, 12 times 2 is 24, and 3 times 2 is 6. What is 24 divided by 6? 24 divided by 6 is 4. Same answer as 12 divided by 3. Oh, we see that if we multiply both of our original numbers, 12 and 3, by the same number, 2, we get the very same quotient, 4.
By what number could we multiply both divisor and dividend in this number sentence so as to change 9.8 to a whole number?
10.
Correct. Now we can divide the whole numbers. So the four-flusher resumed his trip, knowing it would take him 15 days to reach his destination. But suppose that instead of 147 kilometers, his destination was 159.74 kilometers away. Then the four-flusher would have to divide a number expressed as a decimal by another number expressed as a decimal. Could you discover how to do that?